here, boys. Come. 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 Come on.
I don't know. One of the joys of living rurally is a walk around the block is usually a little bit more scenic than it is in the city.
Yeah, it's not quite the same. Often we jump a moose or a deer or something.
The guys are always busy. They make sure that we're going for a walk with them. We have 160 acres here, and we walk it every night. Don't matter what day of the year it is.
Well, when it's really cold, we can't go the whole block, but
yeah,
for the most part, we're out here every night walking, and it's good for us. It's good for the dogs, and they make sure that we never miss a night. So.
Yeah, we actually have 17 acres less than 160 acres.
Yeah, we sprung a vine this year.
Yeah.
Well, last year, I guess. Really.
We gave our youngest boy and family 17 acres off the quarter here, and they're building a home.
They're building a home, and they've got some animals to add to the fun of the homesteading and whatnot. But yeah.
Well, let's get down the road here with these guys, and let's get on to today's show.
Much of Canada was settled and developed by homesteaders. The Dominion Lands Act, passed in 1872, was in force until 1952 in the West. Homesteaders, through sheer force of sweat and determination, transformed the prairies into thriving communities. Our grandparents cleared and broke the land and carved society out of the northern wilderness by hand. Today, modern conveniences have robbed most of society of the ability to fend for themselves. After a global pandemic rocked the world, causing food shortages and insecurity, homesteading saw an explosion in popularity. People searched for the old ways to secure a safe and stable food supply for their families. Join us as we rediscover the joys and challenges of homesteading at the Mellon Patch. Welcome to our life. Welcome to the Mellon Patch.
I'm guessing Pinky is that one.
What gave that away?
The pink.
8 little ones. 8 piggies. First we gotta ear tag them,
And we got them.
which should be exciting.
There's gonna be a whole lot of squealing going on.
Oh, yeah. Cover your ears.
Pinky.
Oh, we're gonna name them as we go.
What did you say, tuna?
Yep. Which one's tuna?
Oh.
Let's go this way with what's right there.
Bushes in there.
That's Luke, you guys.
There you go.
Why do I feel like the pig?
Hi, buddy.
There.
This is Pinky. Pinky is the smallest. Get the right one on there?
Yep.
Pinky's the toughest.
Poor baby. Pretty sure that one would be your best friend, Jake. They found the truck. Nathaniel Reagan.
We haven't really decided on a preference for a breed of pig. These are all weaners that we've brought from local producers. These are mixes. There's Berkshire and Hampshire. There's Duroc and Hereford. we haven't really found a pig that is any better than another, it seems. These are all just the Heinz 57. It's funny though, because there are pigs, when you get into growing pigs, you quickly realize that there are pigs that are grown only for bacon. There are others that are grown only for pork chops. You know, there are others that are grown only for loin, that kind of stuff. And those animals, their body configuration maximizes the amount of that kind of meat that they can produce. Ours are just gonna, you know, eat and wallow, and we get a little bit of everything off them when we butcher in the fall.
The Mellon Patch Homesteading would like to thank our sponsors. Range Road Enterprises, your leader in small forestry equipment for homeowners. From your land to your lumber, Range Road has a solution. Alberta Mobile Power Systems, fast, temporary power anywhere you need it. We design and install to meet your needs. If you've missed out on our early years or haven't caught our latest episodes, we have you covered. Join our exclusive online community at trappinginc.locals.com.
The grandkids, of course, are always excited whenever there are new babies, whether they have feathers or hoofs. It's always something that they want to spend some time with and get to know. And here we have little ones investigating little ones. Around here, trekking costs way more than the gravel. So by hauling your own, I save a substantial amount of money. A couple of years back, I invested in a high-quality Southland dump trailer, and it has been like the skid steer a must-have. It also can haul the skid steer. Not only hauls gravel, it hauls garbage, it hauls wood. Great investment. I'm lucky there's a gravel pit rather close to me, and I can actually haul a load of gravel every 45 minutes. I can have another one dumping. As I said at the end of last week's show, it was now time to clean up my construction mess and neat and tidy up my parking lot and get a handle back on the landscaping. Landscaping isn't just for looks. It's important not to allow water to pool, especially underneath buildings where it can cause moisture problems. But also, I don't want the water to be draining out across my bird yards. You know, I don't want them to be in mud. I want it to be able to drain off and dry quickly so that it's less stress for the birds. As I said before, the area was never meant to be used for buildings or parking or bird pens. When I put in the pens, especially all the dirt I filled in that, I changed the natural drainage that was there. So now I had to reestablish proper landscaping, which isn't just for looks, it's also for proper drainage, so you don't have water puddling where you don't want. And the fact that then once you have that drainage happening, you can cover it with gravel so that you have an all-weather surface. When you watch me moving 9 loads of gravel with the skid steer, you begin to appreciate once again that 25,000 man-hours of labor in a barrel of diesel. I did this in slightly more than an hour and a half, and I don't know how many days it would have taken to do it with a shovel and a wheelbarrow and a rake It's just crazy to think about that anymore. It's just not real in today's world. I hauled in 9 loads of 1/4-inch road crush. Packs down a little bit and makes a good parking lot. I also wanted to gravel the trail down to the culvert that I put in over at the pig pen, so I can get back and forth with vehicles, you know, when I got to haul down food or we got to haul water. Once again, I don't need to be having problems in the mud. Homesteading is all about making the most of what you've got. And the more you can do on your own, the more value you get for your time. Sure, I could have paid a company to come do this, but it would have cost me a lot of money that I couldn't have spent on other things like another chicken coop or a bigger pig pen or whatever. So I'm always looking for that balance. And something like a skid steer, a dump trailer, those are long-term investments that with maintenance are going to last you a lifetime and are going to save you several lifetimes worth of labor.
The Mellon Patch Homesteading would like to thank our sponsors. Range Road Enterprises, your leader in small forestry equipment for homeowners. From your land to your lumber, Range Road has a solution. Alberta Mobile Power Systems, fast, temporary power anywhere you need it. We design and install to meet your needs. If you've missed out on our early years or haven't caught our latest episodes, we have you covered. Join our exclusive online community at trappinginc.locals.com.
Next show on the list is the garden. Our garden is very large. Our garden is 210 feet long at the longest spot and 75 feet wide. It, of course, has grown over the years, and we keep incorporating. We've spent a lot of time increasing the quality of the soil. We're lucky we have peat moss and loam and that right on our property, so we've hauled a lot of that dirt in order to create a mixture of soil that is both very fertile, very easy to work, and that holds water really well. I know that raised garden beds are very popular with a lot of people, and I can understand the situations where you don't have a lot of room. Here we have lots of room, and so I don't want to have something that I've got to continually work every inch of it by hand. I want to be able to rototill in the spring. I want to be able to rototill between my rows in the summertime. That old time habit of summer following, was a great agricultural tool, and they just used the sunshine and soil disturbance to control weeds. And we're about using the least amount of chemicals that we can use. And so rototilling, that summer follow in between the rows, is very important to us every year for weed control. You can't do that with raised beds. You got to do everything by hand, and that's okay if you just have a couple of small 10 by 10 raised beds or whatever. But for the amount of gardening that we grow and the amount of food we grow, I need to be able to, quickly keep it maintained. To the north side, we have some fruit trees, some perennial flower beds, some blueberries, some haskap's, and in the southeast corner we have cherries, which are a tart cherry that are designed to grow in the north. We have hascaps, which are wonderful berries, and a bunch of raspberries. We're constantly growing growing our footprint and our ability to grow. When we plant our garden, we actually do it pretty methodically. It isn't haphazard. Okay, so we take and stake it out, making sure that our rows are spaced 7 feet apart, because the rototiller is 5 feet wide, and by the time stuff grows in or we have support trellises or whatever, we can still get the rototiller in between. It gets rid of about 95% of the weeding that has to be done. You know, there's still weeding has to be done by hand in the plant rows, but this is a big time saver. So by marking them out, we string lines so that everything looks nice and organized when we're done. If you don't end up stringing a line to keep everything nice and straight, it looks like a raccoon on meth had planted your garden. The best laid plans, you know, can be carried out just with 2 sticks and a nice piece of string. So we lay out the garden with the rows 7 feet apart, so I can always get my rototiller around the edges and in between. We run all of our string lines, get them all there, and then Sandy has a map. And really it's just I take a picture with the drone, and we take and draw the lines on it, and we then, in this map, we plot out where we're going to plant. And it's kind of important because, for one thing, we like to rotate our crops around the garden. By using the map, we make sure that we don't plant the same crops in the same spots every year. We like to rototill them around. Some crops have different demands from the soil. Some crops put different things back in. Things like your peas and beans are legumes, and they actually put nitrogen there. They fix nitrogen into the soil. That's helpful for other plants. You know, some have particular pests that follow them, like cutworms are really hard on beans, and if I plant them in the same place year after year, I have the chance of increasing, you know, that cutworm population. Things like radishes can develop you know, small worms and maggots in them. If I move them around, I don't have that problem.
The Mellon Patch Homesteading would like to thank our sponsors. Range Road Enterprises, your leader in small forestry equipment for homeowners. From your land to your lumber, Range Road has a solution. Alberta Mobile Power Systems, fast, temporary power anywhere you need it. We design and install to meet your needs. If you've missed out on our early years or haven't caught our latest episodes, we have you covered. Join our exclusive online community at trappinginc.locals.com.
Like anything else, we have our favorites when it comes to planting, you know, peas, beans, corns, whatever. And we take and mark in our rows using these pink flags. You'll notice there's pink flags in the rows. And we just use a felt pen and write on them what particular strain that is. You know, like with peas, I think this year we plant 4 different strains. 2 rows are simply Dalve, which are our favorite and are huge producers and easy picking, easy growing. We have some sugar peas and we have some Jersey Giants and that kind of stuff. We mark them all, and then we can, you know, make a decision at the end of the year. Was it worth it? Wasn't it worth it? We do the same thing with the beans. We have green beans and yellow beans and bush beans and pole beans, and, you know, once again, we make a decision. Our potatoes, we have pretty much 3 species that we like to grow. The russets, they are best for baking or making French fries. Yukon Gold are the best for boiling and mashing. And we also grow red potato. The red potato is a generalist. It'll do a little bit of everything, but we especially like it when it comes to canning potatoes, which we'll show you later on. You know, when it comes to things like onions, we grow both sets for large onions that we will store and use through the winter, and we grow green onions for eating fresh in salads and in cooking. Carrots, we grow some that are for pickling, some that are for canning, and some that are for just eating fresh. You know, radishes, we have a couple of favorites. The French breakfast radish, which is a strange name for a radish, is a wonderful radish. It's mild and tasty and grows very fast for us. Cucumbers, of course, we grow pickling cucumbers, and we grow slicing or fresh eating cucumbers. The pickling cucumbers, we grow a couple different species. We've tried what they call a multi-use species, which will not only be good for pickling, but also good for slicing and eating fresh. We haven't found that to be true. Cucumbers are good for one or the other. So we grow species that are good for either pickling or for eating. Putting in a garden this size is a lot of work, and it takes time. At the end of the first day, we're about halfway done. Over the course of the next few nights, we will take and get it all finished. And in the background, there's our house.
Yep, and the corn crop.
Just over your head. That was a good walk. So let's finish this up with by going and collecting eggs and checking the chickens.
Absolutely. There's one of them now.
We
know that he might be part of the head count.
We have so many roosters.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
There's one guy right here.
He's the miserable one.
Yeah. This guy here, he's a rooster. Little guy.
Yeah. So that guy. There's look at here. There's 1, 2, 3 roosters just walk through the gate.
Yeah.
I'll bet you we have an easy. Look at the roosters out there.
Yeah.
There's one underneath. There's 2 underneath. 3, 4, 6, 7. There's 7 roosters right there. Yeah. There's another over there. Goodness sakes, we
only need so many roosters for the number of hens that we have.
Look at the black one there.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's a rooster. This scraggly one here, that's Goonie, the Mellon, he's done. And so's Bigfoot or Sasquatch, whichever one that is. Mm-hmm. They're done. But look at the roosters we've got. It's they're gonna go to rooster camp.
Yes. Rooster camp ends up in Sandy's chaos kitchen.
Yeah.
They make great chicken stock.
Absolutely the best. Yep. Let's get our eggs collected.
Yep. Well, my basket of eggs isn't quite as full as last night. I had 18, and a couple of them were new layers. But with all the chaos going on out here with all the roosters and whatnot, we just have to really slim down that flock. But that's just life on the farm. So hopefully you've enjoyed coming along with us today, and we'll see you next time.